Mary Poppins in the Park by P.L. Travers. Chapter 3, Lucky Thursday. "It's not fair," grumbled Michael. He pressed his nose to the window pane and sniffed a tear away. And, as if to taunt him, a gust of rain rattled against the glass. All day the storm had raged, and Michael, because he had a cold, was not allowed to go out. Jane and the twins had put on gumboots and gone to play in the park. Even Annabelle, wrapped in a mackintosh, had sailed off under the parrot umbrella, looking as proud as a queen. Oh, how lonely Michael felt. It was Ellen's day out. His mother had gone shopping. Mrs. Brill was down in the kitchen, and Robertson A. up in the attic was asleep in a cabin trunk. "Get up and play in your dressing gown, but don't put a toe outside the nursery," Mary Poppins had warned him. So there he was, all by himself, with nothing to do but grumble. He built a castle with his blocks, but it tumbled down when he blew his nose. He tried cutting his hair with his penknife, but the blade was far too blunt. And at last there was nothing to do but breathe on the rainy window pane and draw a picture there. The nursery clock ticked the day away. The weather grew wetter, and Michael grew crosser. But then, at sunset, the clouds lifted and a line of crimson shone from the west. Everything glittered in rain and sun. Rat-tat-tat on the black umbrellas. The cherry trees dropped their weight of water. The shouts of Jane and John and Barbara floated up to the window. They were playing leapfrog over the gutters on their way home from the park. Admiral Boom came splashing past, looking like a shiny sunflower in his big, yellow sou'wester. The ice cream man trundled along the lane with a waterproof cape spread over his tricycle. In front of it, the notice said, "Don't stop me, I want my tea." He glanced at number 17 and waved his hand to the window. Michael, on any other day, would gladly have answered back, but today he deliberately took no notice. He huddled on the window seat, glumly watching the sunset, and looking over Miss Lark's roof at the first faint star in the sky. "The others get all the fun," he sniffed. "I wish I could have some luck." Then footsteps clattered on the stairs. The door burst open and Jane ran in. "Oh, Michael, it was lovely," she cried. "We were up to our knees in water." "Then I hope you catch a cold," he snapped. He gave a guilty glance around to see if Mary Poppins had heard. She was busy unwrapping Annabelle and shaking rain from her parrot umbrella. "Don't be cross. We all missed you," said Jane in a coaxing voice, but Michael did not want to be coaxed. He wanted to be cross as he liked. Nobody, if he could help it, was going to alter his bad mood. Indeed, he was almost enjoying it. "Don't touch me, Jane. You're all wet," he said in a sulky voice. "So are we," chirped John and Barbara, running across to hug him. "Oh, go away," he cried angrily, turning back to the window. "I don't want to talk to any of you. I wish you'd all leave me alone." "Miss Lark's roof is made of gold." Jane gazed out at the sunset. "And there's the first star. Wish on it. How does the tune go, Michael?" He shook his head and wouldn't tell, so she sang the song to herself. "Starlight, star bright, first star I've seen tonight. Wish I may, wish I might, that the wish I wish may come true that I wish tonight." She finished the song and looked at the star. "I've wished," she whispered, smiling. "It's easy for you," sibbled Jane. "You haven't got a cold." He blew his nose for the 100th time and gave a gloomy sniff. "I wish I was miles from everywhere, somewhere I could have some fun. Hello, what's that?" he said, staring at us as a small dark shape leapt up on the sill. "What's what?" she murmured dreamily. John, Barbara, and you too, Jane, take off your coats at once. I will not have supper with 3 drowned rats," said Mary Poppins sharply. She slithered off the window seat and hurried to obey. They slithered off the window seat and hurried to obey her. When Mary Poppins looked like that, it was always best to obey. The dark shape crept along the sill and a speckled face peeped in. Could it be? Yes, it was. A cat. A tortoiseshell cat with yellow eyes and a collar made of gold. Michael pressed his nose to the pane, and the cat pressed its nose to the other side and looked at him thoughtfully. Then it smiled, the most mysterious smile, and whisking off the window-sill, it sprang across Miss Lark's garden and disappeared over the roof. "Who owns it, I wonder?" Michael murmured, as he gazed at the spot where the cat had vanished. He knew it couldn't belong to Miss Lark. She only cared for dogs. "What are you looking at?" called Jane as she dried her hair by the fire. "Nothing," he said in a horrid voice. He was not going to share the cat with her. She had had enough fun in the park. I only asked, she protested mildly. He knew she was trying to be kind, and something inside him wanted to melt. But crossness would not let it. And I only answered, he retorted. Mary Poppins looked at him. He knew that look, and he guessed what was coming, but he felt too tired to care. You, she remarked in a chilly voice, can answer questions in bed. Spit spot, and in you go, and kindly close the door. Her eyes bored into him like gimlets as he stalked away to the night nursery and kicked the door to it with a bang. The steam kettle bubbled beside his bed, sending out fragrant whiffs of balsam. But he turned his nose away on purpose and put his head under the blankets. Nothing dice ever happens to me, he grumbled in his pillow, but it offered its cool white cheek in silence as if it had not heard. He gave it a couple of furious thumps, burrowed in like an angry rabbit, and immediately fell asleep. And we'll pause there.